Shoes Off Talk. We are in the building with our shoes off. You see the socks game on fleek. All right. And it's your boy Larvell, aka Triple L. Ladies love Larvell. You already know what it is.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, seriously? Every weekend you gonna have an extension? Yep. It's your boy Tim.
What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Floyd.
Y'all better get y'all some nicknames. But man, so this week is Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, you gotta represent. Mothers are the pinnacle of the world. I am at a point that if you are a mother, you are God's greatest gift on earth.
Really now?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, that was
a great
strong.
opener.
Yeah. I can't argue that point.
Yeah, no. The mothers are the lifeline of society. You know, we're going to come into this world one. We're going to spend our rest of our lives trying to be with one. And take care of your mothers.
I ain't spending the rest of my life. I'm speaking for myself. I'm not trying to spend the rest of my life to be one. Now, if God put one in my life, that's a different story. But I'm not gonna be that guy that's spending the rest of his. No, I ain't doing that.
Well, that's part of my question. When it comes to Mother's Day, because I know there's a lot of it going on, especially this weekend. How do we feel when it comes to your ex-wife, ex-mother-in-laws, exes, when it comes to Mother's Days and gifts and what is appropriate? What should we be doing? So let's say you're with someone else, married, girlfriend, whatever, but you have children with this person. Should we be including that said person with Mother Day gifts or including them on events or not?
That probably is. I guess I think it's a by case situation, like based on the situation. If they are mothers in their own right, then yes.
Okay.
Because I feel like you said, it depends on case by case scenario. Like if I'm okay with my significant or like if it's the mother of my children, then I think I would include her, at least send her something, as an acknowledgement to say, hey, these are still my children. You are still the mother of my children.
Well, I get what you're saying. I get that.
Because I know this is such a fine line.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be more like if you're gonna get it, but then just give it to your kids to give it to their mother?
I think that's setting a precedent. Whenever you use the kids as a go-between, that kind of sends the wrong message to the kid.
Well, not necessarily like that. It's more so like, because the thing is that if you're starting to do that, okay, if you're saying, okay, yes, you are the mother of my kids, happy Mother's Day, here go a gift for you. Here go a card, here go some flowers, here go whatever. Okay. Wouldn't that somehow be more of a, why is he doing this for me?
Well, I think your gift would have to be based on her situation as well, because you don't want to give flowers and cards if she's currently in a relationship or she's married. Just a call. Just a call. Say, hey, just want to wish you a happy Mother's Day. Just keep it simple. Because at the same time, too, you don't want to do or say something that might give someone the wrong idea of what the intent of that is.
Mm-hmm.
So, say like if you had a strain on your relationship with your child's mother, and you send her flowers and a card, her mentality, unless that's something you guys have done for years, but just say, every so often you do it, and then you do it, that is sending a message like, even if she don't follow through with it, it's like, oh, he still want me.
Mm-hmm.
He's still,
Yeah.
and that is in essence is the kind of message you send. So I think, keeping it cordial, depending on what your relationship is with, because I know a lot of people, like, with their ex that they share kids with, they have amazing relationship. They're best of friends. They just figured out, at some point in that relationship that they were better off co-parenting than they were actually being married or being in a relationship living in the same house.
Right. Because the reason why I even brought that up is because this is obviously something that I myself have been through, especially dealing with an ex-wife, where I did not acknowledge, after all said and done, and everybody moved on, I did not acknowledge birthdays. I did not acknowledge Mother's Day because, my thing is why? We're not together no more. Why should I have to acknowledge that? But now here it is, years later, I'm starting to acknowledge it. So that's why I say, some situations, yeah, it's probably a good thing, some is a bad thing, but it's really what we should be doing.
So basically, she brought it to your attention. So.
Of why you're not acknowledging her on Mother's Day?
Oh.
That's pretty ballsy.
That is.
That's pretty
That
ballsy.
is.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's almost like saying you guys haven't been together and her calling you saying that, hey, am I getting anything for my birthday? Are you sending me something for my birthday? Being a mother is an acknowledgement within itself, and I think if you have kids with somebody, you need to acknowledge, them on Mother's Day and say, hey, just wanted to wish you happy Mother's Day. Even if it's a text message, it doesn't have to be anything elaborate. You ain't got to call and have a conversation. But she is still the mother of your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and there has to be a level of respect for her holding that position, regardless of you guys' interaction and relationship. You're not acknowledging Happy Mother's Day for you.
Mm.
You're acknowledging Happy Mother's Day for what she did for you, because her giving you a child is a gift for you.
So basically, when you're saying, okay, Happy Mother's Day, before you even say that, thank you for our kids. Happy Mother's Day.
Why y'all gotta have a buffer in there?
Because you gotta make sure, like, this is
what kind of people are y'all in relationships with?
Because
where y'all gotta have buffers and freaking.
Well, see, sometimes you gotta make it clear to these women, so you won't go into that whole atmosphere of, he won't be.
Right? No, this is just
so what? Like, regardless of what she thinks or not, your job is to recognize the mother of your kids, regardless of what your relationship is. I think that's and that is like a prelude to something else I wanted to talk about. Is we are so concerned with how people view what we do and what we say that it subconsciously becomes a roadblock for anything that we do. Because now we start second guessing ourselves. Everything we do, okay, well, how are they gonna take it? And plus we live in a society where they make you watch everything that you say, because everything is politically, you have to do it politically correct.
Everybody gets their feelings hurt.
Everybody gets their feelings hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a sad day, because the people that really tell you like it is, and I'm not talking being an a-hole about it, but just real people that give you honest opinion, they're now looked at as freaking evil. Like, and it just tells you the day and age that we live in, that people prefer fake and phony.
They want to be lied to.
Yeah, they want to be lied to. And I this is not to offend anybody, but every time I go out, and it's men and women, every time I go out and I see a man wearing something that he shouldn't be wearing, or I see a woman wearing something that she shouldn't be wearing, I look at their friends. And I'm like, you had to have got a second opinion before you put that on.
You knew what
And
that looked
somebody
like when you
in
came
your
out of the house.
crew told you that looked okay.
Mhm.
You need to fire your friend. Cause people that I associate with, they either know not to ask me questions like that, or they ask me knowing I'm gonna give them my honest opinion.
Right.
Like, bro, that doesn't compliment you well.
We know
Like,
Tim does not sugarcoat nothing.
I can't. Like, I'm not. I feel like I'm held responsible if I'm not honest with you and you go out and embarrass yourself. It's not about me, because I'll hang out with you all day long regardless of what you're wearing. But when you go out, you need to represent yourself in a way that people will look at you and say, that person cares. Because not every size is made for everybody. Even me. I spend 6 days a week in the gym. And it's certain tank tops or certain t-shirts that I won't put on. Because I think they fit me too tight. And I feel like I've got work to do on my body. I'm not trying to be ripped, but you know, it's in my mind that there's things that I need to work on. So I'm not going to put on anything that's going to accentuate those parts. Like,
but then it goes back to being, they be like, oh well, you got to be comfortable with yourself. You got to be. That's
become society's excuse.
I understand being comfortable with yourself, but like he said, you still need to keep it in moderation what you wear. This is not Coachella. We're not at Coachella every week, okay?
Bro, and people are doing it because they're lazy and they don't want to put in the work that it takes. And a lot of it is simple. It's easier for you to accept who you are and not put in the work than it is to put in the work. We live in a lazy society. Oh, you know what? I love me for me. All of this, I love all of it. When really and truly, like you don't love it, because we have the highest rate in the United States for obesity, and obesity leads to health problems, high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, like you name it. So how could you love that? Like, how could you want that?
Love you basically, they love the health, all that healthness that's going to be bad health attached to that.
Yeah, because it's easier just to accept the way I am, because that's easy. That doesn't take any work, and society has put that out there that it's okay for you to do that. But as we start to really learn more about our country's way of thinking, we understand that everything that they do, every message that they're putting out, is to put money in their pockets. So if they could tell you and preach to you and tell you love yourself regardless of what your weight is, then they know then that's going to increase you going to the hospital spending money. That's going to increase you needing to get medication for high blood pressure and disease. It's the unhealthier they can keep us, the more revenue that produces for them. But we just won't get out of our own head and think that, okay, every message that they send us is not for your benefit. No part of our government does anything for us. Like, our government is not your best friend. If you don't make money for your government, they're not your best friend. I don't get the.
Well, when you owe them money, they hunt you down.
Oh yeah.
They want it yesterday.
They'll attach liens to everything you own. They'll garnish your wages.
They'll do everything.
They'll do anything.
When it comes time to give you some money.
Oh, you gotta wait about a year or so.
Right? You gotta wait for that.
You know, that's that. I'm like, the quicker you want your money, the quicker you should be giving us our money. So, but
speaking about the government, you see how they, at least the Republicans are trying to pass a bill to state that. Let me actually read it to what it says. Here with me, I was just reading a second ago.
I know they're still trying to get that.
For trans, like for sports.
Oh, I was just looking at that. what they did was this is the World Athletics, the governing body for track and field and other running competitions. They announced last month in April that transgender women who went through male puberty can no longer compete in women's events at international competition. That policy took effect on March 31st. How do you feel about that, Floyd?
Say that again.
Transgender women competing in women's sports.
Meaning they can.
Huh?
They can.
They can on a that's just international, which means that other countries ain't wanting a man dressed like a woman competing against their women.
Well, it is an actual unfair advantage to a point.
You ain't preaching to the choir.
You know.
I agree.
Yeah.
I strongly agree.
I mean, it's okay to play the sport, but when you have women and men on a transgender on the same team and everything, and then you're competing against another team which is all women, that's an unfair advantage.
Bro, this is wrong on every level, and we're not even talking biblically. Like we gonna keep the Bible out of it.
Mm-hmm.
We're just talking on every level. It is wrong. As someone that has granddaughters, that is fastly growing up and becoming interested in sports and different things, it is an unfair advantage. I saw something on social media where this transgender woman was in combat sports. I think it was either karate or something, jiu-jitsu.
She was beating a
And she basically was mauling these women, like mauling them. And it's I couldn't be a father of a daughter and have a daughter and me stand on a sideline while this transgender woman just basically beats the snot out of your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's an obvious unfair, like, who would agree with that other than the transgender woman that is actually competing?
Right.
To me, it's a cop-out.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't do it against other men, so you decided, let me use this advantage and jump in women's sports where I can become a champion, where I can be ranked, and where I can, and then even when you get away from the competition part of it, just think about what it creates in the dressing room. Like, think about the things that they have to do in preparation for a transgender woman. Do you just let her be in the? I'm not even gonna say her. Do you let him be in a locker room with women, knowing that he's a he? Or do you make concessions and be like, okay, we'll just separate and we'll create for these competitions, we'll create a bathroom just for the transgender male. We'll just create, and that's.
Well, they're not really trying to do that because they're already having it where they have bathroom. Was it unisex or the transgender can go into whichever bathroom they identify with.
Do you realize how many names of bathrooms they have now?
No, actually, I don't.
They have they have at least 4 or 5 different names for bathrooms for transgender. What is it? Unisex is basically man or woman, so we can't really count that. What was the one you just named?
Wasn't it unisex?
Well, the unisex I think it's kind of been around because a lot of people don't have the facilities to really have men and women bathrooms, so they just make it unisex to where anybody can go in, and usually that's just like a one person
all
bathroom.
Gender restrooms,
all gender. That was the other one I saw the other day. Gender neutral
bathrooms. Yeah, that's the gender inclusion bathrooms.
Oh my god.
Inclusive. I'm sorry, gender inclusive bathrooms. That's the one. All gender restrooms.
Okay, I got one for you. What if your male son decided he wanted to be a woman? What would you say to him? And what would your feelings be toward that?
Well, my thing is like,
Do you see all the bass he got in his voice? You see all the bass? Hey, he sit up, puffed his chest out. It was a lot of bass got that voice.
I had a son. Okay, so when you leave this earth, you will be my son. You will be a man.
Okay, you can say that
while
they live with you. But
Right.
once he turns 18 and moves out on his own and he decides, okay, this is it. I want to be transgender.
Mm-hmm.
What does that conversation sound like with you?
Well,
That's a hard one.
That
to-
is,
that
it
is
really
a hard
is.
one.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because
You want your
You are-
children to live their life.
right, because one thing with me, it's like he would know, already know how I feel about all that. Okay, but then I know that he's a grown man now, so he makes his own decisions, you know. But the thing is, though, you got to understand that if I'm not supporting that, then you can't be upset with that.
Okay. Larbell. So we all have, just to let the audience know, we all have boys.
Yep.
We all three of us have boys, so that is a very fair question. I absolutely do not see any one of my sons doing it.
I don't know.
At this point in their life.
Look, these
But
females today.
I'm gonna give you my response though. I'm gonna give you my response because, you know, anything can happen.
Right.
I know if my sons is tuning in, I can't even see the message, but I know they like Dad. Don't even trip. Don't even trip.
They're gonna be like, go ahead, Laura.
No, it's because I don't know how that conversation is going to go. But just like how you said, you know, this is my household, and hey, you know, how I feel about it, you know. But once they leave the nest, unfortunately, that is their decision of what they do. Is he still going to be my son? Yes, you will always be my son, no matter what you feel that you are. You are my son. That's just how I feel.
Okay. So my response to that, if I was to have a son and he decided that he wanted to live a different lifestyle, I'll call it that because I'm not going to put any credence on it at all and acknowledge it for what they want us to acknowledge it for. So if I had a son and you could kind of see signs of this from what I've seen.
Oh, yeah.
You can see signs of it coming. The conversation I have would be both biblical and worldly. So I would tell him my views biblically based on what I know of the Bible and how the Bible feels about it. But I think first and foremost, the conversation that I would start off with is, regardless of how you choose to live your life, I will love you no less.
Mm-hmm.
But in my house and for the rest of your natural life, I'm going to call you by the name that was given to you at birth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to refer to you as him. I'm not referring to you as other or any of that. However you decide to dress is your business. But you're not going to force your lifestyle on me if I don't agree with it. That doesn't mean that I love you any less. I just don't, because our kids do stuff all the time that we don't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
That means that doesn't mean that we love them any less.
All right.
But I'm going to tell you my views on it, what I know of the Bible, because I'm definitely going to call my mom and my dad because they know the Bible way better than I do. So I'm going to get their opinions on how this conversation should go on the biblical aspect. Then I'm going to give them the worldly dad aspect of it. But I think what you don't want to do is you don't want them to feel like they can't come talk to you because of them choosing to live their life a certain way. That's the last thing you want them to do, is to be uncomfortable with having conversations with you or coming around you. Mm-hmm. You can let them know that I don't agree with what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
our kids don't agree with what we do. But you are our kids. We gave birth to you.
It's hard to put that out there like that, because these kids, they don't see it like that. Even though we tell them, I'm your daddy, I'm your mama, I'm the one who gave birth to you. They like, okay,
they won't, and they won't. They won't. It's not their job to understand the place that they play in the creation of them and what our role is. Our role is to do our job as parents, to provide a safe environment for them, to give them the things that they need to be successful, to give them teachings to where when they leave out of your house, they're armed with the things that they need to face society. Is it going to be everything that they need? No, it's not. That's why when they leave your house, you make sure you have open lines of communication with them if they encounter something that you didn't talk about or that wasn't a part of your teachings with them growing up. But you just definitely need to keep it 100. You can't sugarcoat anything and leave something up to their determination. That's the way I am in life, period. You will never have to try to figure out how I feel about something, what I mean by it, or any of that. My communication is going to be on point at all times. There's not going to be any misinterpretation of what I say, ever.
And when Tim says something, that's some law. Tell you, man, he don't sugarcoat nothing. He gonna tell facts. He gonna tell you if you want to hear it or not. He gonna tell you.
Okay. I appreciate everybody's feedback on that, because that's real life, bro.
It is.
That's real life.
It is.
I want to talk a little bit about. I have my best friend, and he didn't tell me it was okay to share a story, but I'm gonna share a story anyway because he's my best friend, and who cares?
That's how it always starts. It's the friend. It's this person. It's this person. But what we really know, it's about.
Hey, I just said there ain't gonna be no misinterpretation. You ain't gonna have to guess. Tim gonna always keep it 100. If it's about me, it's about me. I look. I had to tell somebody on Facebook the other day, bro. Like, I got this guy on Facebook, man, that no matter what I post, he is in conflict with me.
Oh,
I could say the sky is blue.
Like
He'll say it's a lighter shade of blue with a hint of gray in it and a red stripe. Like, everything that I say, this dude has something to say. And you get to a point where you laugh it off, hee hee ha ha ha. And then post after post after post after post after post. And then he started reminding you of other stuff that you said and trying to use that against you to verify what he's doing. Bro, it rubbed me wrong the other day. And I had to kind of go in like, bro, take a couple steps back. I was like, because you poking me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't mind getting on social media and the guys I know that I've been around here forever with, people that I've met over the years that's on my social media, we go back and forth about sports. They know it's all in love, whatever. They have their views, I have my views. It's all love.
Right.
I hate to be poked, bro. Don't poke me. Like, don't pick at me. I don't like to be picked at. Don't do that, because you'll get that side of me that I'm not gonna go all the way left, but I'm gonna let you see that all the way left is available if you really want it. And I just had to stop him, bro. Like, bro, chill. Because one of the instances I said that I think it was some team. I said that they would lose by 40, and they were actually down by like 35. They ended up losing by 30. Oh, I thought you said they was gonna lose by 30. 40. I thought they was gonna get blown out by 40.
come on, man. Oh, man.
Oh, and then I would say stuff like, I got a feeling they gonna lose by 10. Oh, you willing to bet that? Are you that confident in that you willing to bet? Anyway, I digressed.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see, I was in my feelings.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I digress.
Yeah.
So back to my friend. So I had a conversation with him the other day, and I love when we have relationship conversations because I feel like it encompasses so much, and so many people receive what we talk about, and it's helpful. And one of what he's going through right now is I've been trying to get him away from, we'll just say, the Chicago area. For a long time, to the point where I'm like, bro, just move to Arizona. You can stay with me. I'll have you a job before the wheels touch down in Arizona. And so, and I've been telling him this for years, bro, and he's dragged his feet, and a lot of stuff has happened. He's now going through a court battle because he was driving trucks, and some older guy who we think that possibly was on medication, when he was driving, it was a 2-lane road, and the guy just decided he wanted to park in the middle of that road at night, and my friend hit him in his semi-truck and killed him.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
And so he's been going through it. This is somebody that if he called me now and he was in dire straits, I would go to the airport right now and be there for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's how close I am with him. So I'm not telling this story to put him on Front Street. I'm telling this story because we have so many people that get stuck in these ruts.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to change their lives, but they don't want to do anything about it. They stay spinning their wheels in the mud, so to speak. And so he called me the other day, and he ended up meeting a very nice young lady. She's got her stuff together, and he was just telling me, he was like, Tim, I talk to her all the time about leaving. She's been a support for me, and he said something to me, bro, that really shook me to my core. He said, you know who really loves you when you become a liability.
Mm. 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 Mm.
That is very true.
Like,
Very true.
he said it, and it shook me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It really, really shook me, because we all can relate to that.
Oh,
At
yeah.
some point in
Oh,
your
yeah.
life, you are going to be a liability.
Mm-hmm.
And just for me to expound on that, so people don't have to lean to their own understanding, when I say when you become a liability, when you don't have the things readily accessible to you that everybody else has, when you are out of work, when you have little to no money, when you don't have transportation, when you don't have the daily necessities that most people have, when you are in that situation, which we are calling liability, who's in your corner, or who reaches out to you when you are a liability? How many of the people that you naturally have in your life when things are going well are in your life when you become a liability? And it made me think, bro. It really made me think. And when you really think about it, bro, it's very few people
Oh yeah.
that are in your life
Mm.
when you become a liability.
Man, we have all been there a time or two.
Mm-hmm.
3, 4,
Right.
5.
You know.
Man,
Oh yeah.
that one hit because I'm just playing it.
Bro,
over my head.
that's what it did to me, bro. I'm just sitting back. It seemed like my life flashed before. Him saying that to me made me relive everything that I've been through in my life.
I'm sitting here doing the same thing, man. Wow. You find out who your real friends are when you're in time of need. That's when you find out what your friends are. When things, like you said, when things are smooth, when things are good, you're doing good, then you got all these people hanging around you, want to be around you, let's go do this, let's go borrow this, whatever. But then when you're not on your toes, it's like, where's those same people at? Not around.
But what's crazy is, bro, we will trend back to those same people that we know aren't there in
2023, no new
in
friends.
our greatest time of need. Like,
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah.
And it just makes me think about me as a person. Is I'm such a giving, caring person. Is that I have to check myself sometimes. It's like, Tim, you cannot keep giving people things that they have not earned. Because it's just natural. Bro, I get so much satisfaction out of doing for other people. And it's not about the return. It's not about the return at all. I have been blessed in my life. And that does not mean money, cars, houses, or any of that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the transforming of my mind over the years based on everything that I've been through. I'm in a whole nother realm, the way that I think now. That's what I'm talking about as far as being blessed. Not what society deems as success. And so I want to give those things to people and do things for people that 9 times out of 10 they'll never get a chance to do or go or have the things that I've had in my life. And I get no greater pleasure out of seeing people enjoy those things. And it's not to brag, it's not to boast, but then at the same time I'm like, it's okay to do that for people that can't do for themselves. But when you do it for people that can do for themselves, and they haven't earned that, that's when I go into remission, so to speak. It's like, I have to check myself. It's like, okay, how many of these people have supported anything that I've done? But yet still, bro, I literally get 10 to 15 calls every day between messenger or text message, somebody wants something or somebody needing something.
Wow.
It's just a constant where we have to do evaluation of our life and understand that we cannot continue to give people the one thing that once it's gone, there's no getting it back, and that's your time.
Right.
We got to start valuing it. I've got to start valuing it more because I'm just giving it away. And when you give stuff away, especially when you give it to people that they may even be undeserving of it, do you think they really value it? No, they don't. So not only are you giving it to people that don't value you, you're devaluing yourself. So I just encourage everybody, man, when you start associating with people within your circle, you need to start evaluating what does everybody bring to the table. And like I said, when I talk about this stuff, I'm not talking about material possession. I'm not talking about money, cars, houses, and all of this stuff. I'm talking about, do they mentally feed you the things that you need to push forward in life? Will Smith said it best, bro. You are a direct reflection of the 5 people closest to you. And we've all heard the same saying, you hang out with 4 broke friends,
You're gonna be broke.
you're gonna be the 5th.
Yeah.
So I even have to do that, bro, and I think people have this opinion of people that are in positions to where they have a platform like they got it all figured out, and they don't. A lot of us have a platform and do the things we do in the way of motivational speaking or whatever it is because that allows us to have a constant reminder of what we need to do.
An outlet.
That is it.
That's if y'all want to hear more of Tim's talk, y'all tune in.
I actually have a Instagram page now called Tim's Talk 69, and it's be careful with that 69. Be careful with that 69. That was the year I was born. That was the year I was born. When I set it up, I was like, Tim Talk 69. Oh. But when I put Tim Talks in, or Tim Talk, it had, bro, a whole list of, I went through probably 30 different Tim Talks. You know how you have to create a username and all that. Bro, everybody had every Tim Talk I want. And I was like, all right, I'll do my birthday here. my year that I was born. As soon as I hit save,
Right there.
I looked at it.
It's too late now.
I'm like, but it's a conversation piece.
Right,
Because
right, right.
Tim, really? Tim Talk 69? No, that's not it. Get your mind out the gutter. Hey.
But look, it will attract.
It will. They gonna look at my page and realize that the things that's on my page don't really match the title, the user. Like, that's not what it is at all, people.
Yeah.
Hey.
They'll come in and be like, okay, well, since I'm here, let me go ahead and listen to
Let's
what
listen to what he's talking about. 69.
Right.
No, that ain't. That's my birth year. So that's what it is. But I created that because I love our gathering and the things that we do on Shoes Off Talk. But I wanted to have segments that throughout the week I can be a light or a vessel for someone that needs to hear something positive. And I keep it short and sweet. And it's just, bro, this podcast has been a heaven sent for me because I've had so much stuff on my chest over the years, and a lot of times for those of us that don't freely share our business with other people, it gives you an outlet to talk about things that you normally wouldn't even have an outlet to talk about. So I'm so appreciative of you guys, the podcast, and the opportunity to get on in front of you guys and talk about things. Some of this stuff we're talking about our life.
Pretty much.
This is Shoes Off Talk, unapologetic about the things we talk about. Some of this stuff is about our life, but we're also talking about our life so we can be a beacon of hope and educate and inform and motivate people that don't have platforms like this, that may need to hear it from somebody else, that hey, it's okay what I'm going through, or it's not okay what I'm going through.
Right.
And understand and we let you know, like, this stuff is strictly our views. None of us on here is we may be life experts because we've been through a lot, but we're not experts when we talk about relationships, when we talk about these different things. I really don't. There's very few people that have podcasts that are actually experts, about all the things that they talk about. But we love what we do. We have been doing this now, not just Shoes Off Talk. We've had shows and different things that we've done together, man. And this is an all-star team we have here, man. And I love it. And just keep tuning in, keep asking your questions, man, because we love it.
You want else I want to get your views on?
Huh?
You know what else I want to get your views on?
What? Oh my God.
There he go.
Oh my God. How much time we got?
We got 10 minutes. That's what I want to talk about.
Bro.
Oh man.
That actually hits home for me. Understand this. I've been in the Valley since '94. So that's what? 29 years?
Roughly.
29 years off and on, because I was an underwriter, so I've been traveling, living in other places, but I always had a place here. And I'm from Peoria, Illinois. And I left Peoria when I was 13 years old. So Arizona is the place that I've spent the largest portion of my life. I'm from Peoria, Illinois, but my home is Arizona. So I say that because I am a diehard Bulls fan. Always will be, till I die.
The Bulls.
If I had to rank them, I'm 1A Bulls, 1B Suns. I've had to take a lot of ridicule. And mind you, I'm not that fanatical fan that get on social media, oh, my son's gonna run through you and this and that and go ahead and give it. I'm not that fan. I'm not even that fan with the Bulls. I'm just not that fan. But when people know that you are any kind of fan of a team, they want to dig. They want to dig. And
Oh yeah.
Bro, it was embarrassing. Like, I was at the game and I literally left at halftime.
Wow.
Like everybody else.
It was, and I went back last night for BG's. It's preseason, but it was her first game back with the Mercury, and I told myself in my heart, I don't give a heck what was going on. I was going to be at that game. I was going to not be that one that voiced the support for her when she wasn't here. I was going to back up that support by going out to physically support her. And so I had courtside seats, man, and just being there to support that. But when I walked into the arena, because I walk through the same door all the time where I park at, and they was like, "Oh, I thought we wouldn't see you back here until next year." And I was like, and when I walked down to the court, bro, that's all you heard about. People was talking about the Suns. And honestly, they had a right to be upset, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have a right to be upset because just the effort.
That game.
I don't care. I don't care if you beat me by 50. I'm not. My effort is going to be the same as if I'm up by 50. Like, I'm just going to give you that effort, and I just felt like there's something within that team that was going on before the game. Like, there's something going on. Like, I wouldn't dare to say that they just went in that game and was just like, oh, we don't want this. That wasn't it at all.
There's a seem like
there's something underlying that's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Because there's people on that team that give max effort every time they go on the court, and I didn't see it. I didn't see it last night. Or the other night, and they've got some questions to answer, bro. The obvious one is Aiden can't come back next year. They shouldn't have even signed him for $33 million, because now you run into the issue of trying to find someone that is going to accept him with that big price tag on him.
Yep.
When you could have let him go last year,
Yep.
we would have had the either the same or better results without him here. Now you kind of put yourself in a pigeonhole.
Yeah.
Now he's got a high price tag on it, and now other teams have saw what he done here. So you should have got rid of him last year when he was more marketable, and people didn't see the shenanigans that went on this year. Now, and granted, you're gonna have some people that you're gonna have teams that are interested, that want him. But you got that price tag on him now. They've seen the side of him that,
because if you shenan once, you will shenan again.
bro, it's just it's in his DNA, bro. Like, it's in his DNA. But I hear that they're talking about maybe getting rid of Monty and James Jones.
Wow.
Bro, there's
gonna be some changes. There's gonna be some upsets.
Yeah.
The break.
I was more interested when we picked up KD. There's no way in the world that I not once thought that the Suns would win a championship this year.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking forward to next year. That's what because I mean, if you played the game, you can look at the team that was constructed. That it wasn't a championship team for this year. It wasn't.
It's just the whole point of how close they were to that championship.
So close.
When you really think about it, they really wasn't close. What made it seem like it was close was how they went out last year in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really, because had they did this the year after they went to the finals, this wouldn't have been the reaction that you got. But because they did it last year, being put out in the first round by Dallas the way they did, this made this hurt like even more. And I heard people was asking for their money back.
Yeah.
Because they charge us, bro, astronomical price. Our tickets for the season is separate of playoffs and finals, and it's separate. You pay just as much for your season as you do for playoffs and finals.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's two separate bills. And so you got, my tickets aren't bad at all, but you got people that are sitting on the floor that they may pay 80 to 100,000 for the season, they're gonna pay that same thing for the playoffs,
For the same seats.
for the same seats, and to know that somebody just didn't give you the effort that you thought you should, bro. That's hey.
Oh my gosh.
But I stick by my teams. I stick by the things that I say. The people that I support, regardless of what the outcome is, I always keep it a buck. Once again, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. We ask you, like we always do, send us your questions, your comments, whether it's negative or positive. Inbox us to them, put them in the messages, in the dialogue. Let us know how we did. If there's something we can improve on, let us know. We don't mind having constructive criticism. I don't mind it at all. These guys don't mind it at all. But we love you. We appreciate you. We ask that you guys send out the links and everything so we can get more viewers. Go to our Shoes Off Talk podcast. It's on YouTube. We really trying to blow this thing up, and we want to get some of you guys. We want to get you guys on here because you guys are working in different arenas, and you guys have things going on in your life that the world is interested in. And so we want to give you that platform as well. So reach out to us. As always, love,
peace,
and
soul.
Train.
Train. Bro, what is it gonna be?